What if the life you want is only one skill away? Not more intelligence, not better genetics, not a secret productivity hack, just one skill. And what if the gap between who you are today and who you could become tomorrow isn't measured by talent, but by your ability to do what needs to be done when you don't feel like doing it? Think about it. How many dreams have been abandoned not because people lack potential, but because they lack consistency? How many books were never written? Businesses never started, bodies never transformed, skills never mastered, not because people didn't know what to do, but because they couldn't make themselves do it. And the terrifying part? Most people never realize they're wasting their potential until years later, when they look back and wonder what could have been. Because the greatest tragedy isn't failure, it's becoming capable of more and never finding out. Most people already know what they should be doing. Study more, exercise regularly, eat healthier, stop procrastinating, read books, work on their goals. Yet somehow knowing isn't enough. If knowledge created results, every student would get top grades, every entrepreneur would be successful, every person with a gym membership would be in shape. The problem isn't information, the problem is execution, and that's where modern life becomes dangerous. Because today, distraction has become easier than progress. Every notification offers a tiny hit of dopamine, every scroll promises entertainment, every video suggests one more minute won't hurt, but 1 minute becomes 10. 10 becomes an hour becomes a habit, and eventually habits become a life. We live in a world where comfort is available instantly. You can avoid boredom instantly, avoid effort instantly, avoid discomfort instantly, and that's exactly why so many people stay stuck. Because growth almost always requires temporary discomfort. The brain loves immediate rewards. It's wired that way. From an evolutionary perspective, quick rewards helped our ancestors survive. But in the modern world, that same wiring often works against us. The future rewards of studying, exercising, saving money, or learning a skill feel distant. The reward of comfort feels immediate, and immediate usually wins. That's why procrastination isn't laziness. It's a battle between short-term pleasure and long-term success. And most people lose that battle every single day. Which brings us to one of the biggest lies in self-improvement: motivation. People are constantly searching for motivation, motivational videos, motivational quotes, motivational speeches. And don't get me wrong, motivation feels amazing. It gives you energy. It makes you believe change is possible. It creates momentum. But motivation has a problem. It leaves. It disappears the moment life becomes difficult, the moment you're tired, the moment you're stressed, the moment the weather is bad, the moment the excitement fades. Because motivation is emotional, and emotions are temporary. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days you'll feel exhausted. Some mornings you'll wake up inspired. Others you'll want to stay in bed. If your success depends on motivation, then your success depends on your mood. And moods change constantly. The people who achieve extraordinary things understand something most people never learn. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on something stronger: discipline. Discipline is the ability to act regardless of how you feel. Read that again. Discipline is the ability to act regardless of how you feel. When motivation disappears, discipline takes over. When excuses appear, discipline answers. When comfort calls, discipline keeps moving. That's why discipline beats talent. A talented person who never practices eventually loses to the average person who shows up every day. Discipline beats intelligence. A genius who procrastinates often gets outperformed by someone less gifted, but more consistent. Discipline even beats luck. because luck might open a door. But discipline determines whether you're prepared to walk through it. Think of discipline as a superpower, not because it makes life easier, but because it makes progress inevitable. And here's where things get really interesting. Most people dramatically underestimate the power of small actions. They believe success comes from massive effort. One huge breakthrough, one life-changing moment, one dramatic transformation. But reality works differently. Success is usually boring. It's repetitive, quiet, invisible. It's studying for 1 hour every day, reading 10 pages every day, practicing a skill every day, working out consistently, not perfectly, consistently. Imagine reading just 10 pages daily. That's over 3,000 pages in a year. Dozens of books. Knowledge accumulated one small step at a time. Imagine exercising 30 minutes daily. Imagine practicing a skill for 1 hour daily. At first, the results seem invisible. Nothing changes. Then suddenly everything changes. Because small actions compound, just like interest in a bank account. Tiny investments made repeatedly create extraordinary outcomes. The same principle applies to your habits. Every action either compounds for you or against you. Now, the obvious question becomes, how do you actually build discipline? Start ridiculously small. The brain resists drastic change, but rarely resists 2 minutes. Want to read? Read 1 page. Want to exercise? Do 1 push-up. Want to study? Open the book for 2 minutes. Focus on systems instead of goals. Goals define direction. Systems create results. Redesign your environment. Make good habits obvious. Make bad habits inconvenient. Use habit stacking. Attach new habits to existing routines. Follow the never miss twice rule. Perfection isn't required. Recovery is. Track progress visually. Build identity. Don't say, I want discipline. Say, I am a disciplined person. Practice delayed gratification. Keep promises to yourself. Create a consistent morning routine. And most importantly, learn to act before you feel ready. Every human being fights an invisible war. The war between the present self and the future self. The present self wants comfort. The future self wants growth. The present self wants entertainment. The future self wants achievement. The present self wants convenience. The future self wants fulfillment. And every decision casts a vote. Every workout is a vote. Every study session is a vote. Every disciplined action is a vote for the person you're becoming. The question isn't whether you're changing. You're always changing. The question is who you're becoming. Because one version of you exists 5 years from now. That version is stronger, smarter, healthier, more capable, more confident. And another version exists too. One shaped by excuses, delays, missed opportunities, broken promises. Both futures are real. Both futures are possible. The difference is what you repeatedly do today. This is why discipline changes more than results. It changes identity. The disciplined person doesn't just have better grades. They trust themselves. They don't just have a stronger body. They have stronger character. They don't just build successful careers. They build self-respect. And self-respect is priceless. Because when you repeatedly prove to yourself that you can do hard things, something powerful happens. You stop doubting yourself. You stop negotiating with excuses. You stop waiting for permission. You become someone who acts. And action changes everything. Here's the harsh reality. Every day you avoid discipline, you are choosing a future. Maybe not immediately, maybe not dramatically, but inevitably. Picture 2 versions of the same person. One chooses comfort every day, the other chooses discipline. At first, they look identical. A week later, still identical. A month later, barely different. But years later, they're living completely different lives. One wonders what happened. The other knows exactly what happened. Small choices, repeated consistently. That's all. No magic, no secret, just discipline. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. It's choosing who you want to become over what you want right now. It's understanding that temporary discomfort often creates permanent rewards. It's believing your future deserves effort from your present self. So the next time you don't feel like studying, or exercising, or working on your dream. Remember this: you don't need motivation. You need a decision to show up, a decision to keep going, a decision to become the person your future self is counting on. Because every disciplined day writes a chapter of your future, and one day those chapters become a story. Your story. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going, and one day while everyone else is waiting to feel ready, you'll look back and realize that the life you dreamed about was built one disciplined day at a time.